last night when you saw a woman run to the stage and wanted to just say thank you to everyone, and that was Pam Valvano. Now Pam Valvano Strasser. Pam, are you here? Come on up here, Pam. Where's Pam? I know she was here a moment ago. Tireless worker for us, it still is, and been an incredible ambassador for the V Foundation. She watched as she saw her husband go through that battle, and it wasn't pretty. And then she's watched, which no mom ever wants to see or ever hear, is her daughter. But her daughter has written me a number of times, and she said, my dad has affected my life. Because my dad, with the money that's been raised, that they've been able to treat me and take care of me. She had a mastectomy, and she was in her early 30s, and just had kids, and she was, beside herself. Why me kind of deal. My husband, and now my daughter. But through it all, the one thing that's always impressed me so much, and I think that's, I get on my desk right now. Remember I told you last time when I spoke, it seems almost every day I get a phone call, this one, a message, I have on my desk a book, 13-year-old boy just passed away from cancer. The Columbos, are they here right now? They gave me the book. I'm going to read that. You gave me that. Your friends, Roy. I mean, these are not stories, man. And I just feel that those of us that are able, and that's why I love this. No greater feeling I feel than giving. I just, I've been blessed. I was telling Peter Vesey, who's here from the New York Post, and I was telling Peter back there that I've been blessed in my life. I mean, you look at the home I live in. My daughters, they don't know what it was like when growing up as a kid. My wife, her mother and father never even drove a car. Her mother and father lived by Shea Stadium. My father and mother, are you kidding me? My father was living today and went through my house. He would go absolutely ballistic. He would say, I can't believe people live like this. So in a way, but the one thing, and they know that, my daughters know it, my friends know it. The Tommy Longos, the guys I grew up with, my guy Howard Schwab, all my buddies, they know that the one thing that has never changed with me is my values and what I believe in people. Materialistically, things have changed. This is all, excuse the language, bullshit. No, great house. I had just as much. My house, we had a little kitchen, one bathroom, but the love, man, the love at our dinner table was unbelievable. Watching my father come home from work, pressing coats, took me to the factory with him when I was a junior in high school. And he took me to the factory and he said, son, you don't want to do this. I don't want to be like my buddies, man. My buddies would graduate high school, would quit high school, and they would go out and they would buy a car, 3-year payments, go work in some factory, work somewhere. My cousin Johnny's here. He and I were the first two in our family to go to college. But I went because my father showed me his way of life. Pressing coats, 95 degrees in the summer, and the more coats he pressed, and I don't ever remember him missing a day's work, ever. And I learned from that. I gave me inspiration. And I said that at his funeral. What I learned from him, learned about passion and work ethic. My mother used to constantly preach to me. I don't care you lost your eye as a kid. People have it worse, Richie. Don't ever believe in camp. That was her constant preaching. A woman, 5th grade educated, but a doctorate of love. And that love rubbed off on me. And I've told my friends, you kick my butt, you tell me to my face, if I allow driving a fancy car or a fancy house to affect the person I am. Because that, to me, would be a disaster. Greatest gift I ever had in my life. Ever. In the Hall of Fame and 9 Hall of Fames. I can't run, jump, or shoot, and I in 9 for why. I keep hearing the word passion. The Hall of Fame, my high school, where I coached in college, where I've been National Italian Hall of Fame. You know what? The biggest Hall of Fame I ever was in my life was when my daughters at my 70th birthday spoke to my friends, and they gathered at a party, and they said, Dad, one thing we're proud of is that you've always been, I don't care about your basketball, who care about your TV. You've been a great father, man. And that, to me, was the greatest gift, to hear my daughter say that. It meant so much to me. I'm in the last quarter, and I'm going to fight like crazy for these kids. No kid should have to do chemo, radiation. They shouldn't do it. I've been emotionally just ripped apart, going to the funerals of kids and going to the hospitals, visiting kids. I can't take it anymore. It just bothers me. So I thank you so much for all your help. Y'all been so great. And just remember, if you have within you that ability to give, please give, because this is a great, great group. The V Foundation is the best, and it started right here with this lady. I just say, you as well.
Really hard to follow something like that, Dick, but last night somebody said to me, you know, what happened to you? And my husband looked at me and said, where are you going? And I just said that somebody dropped down from heaven and told me that I needed to personally thank all of you for being here. And I had to do it for him. So Jim wants to thank you from heaven for being here and for being so generous. And there's nothing I can say that would be able to compare to what Dick says. He is just an unbelievable human being that has been able to give back in his life. He's been so fortunate. And my brother Nick has done a great job running the foundation for his brother. Thank you, Nick. And I love all of you here. And thank you so much for helping us. Because someday we're going to find a cure for this dreaded disease. And we won't have to lose loved ones anymore. Thank you.
I coached in, it's unbelievable. The last year, 3 people that would be here will be supporting us. Lost 3 really great guys. Freddie Barracat, his wife Florence is here. Just unbelievable. Rocky Ross, I don't know if the Ross family is here. They were here last night. Rocky, an unbelievable friend of mine. Giver, lost his life. And ultimately, one guy I was so proud of. He was I spoke at his funeral as well. What was the date of the funeral at the end? It was back in
January 7th. January 7th.
January, yeah. I remember having a basketball year ran out there to New Jersey to speak at his funeral. Why was he so special to me? Let me tell you what I know about coaching. I know nothing. Nothing. I'm 23 years old, and I had a little hair in my head. I'm coaching the high school team. I'm the head coach at East Rutherford High School. And we're having practice, and I'm going to pick our team. As we're ready to pick our team, I turned to our assistant coach. I said, Bob, anybody down there, the junior varsity guys, anybody look like they can play varsity? He said, Coach, I love that guy. He turns around and points. I looked. I said, Bob, what do you know about basketball? The kid's about 5'5". His arm is out here when he's shooting. He has, look at him. He's slow. He can't get up and down the court real well. I said, Bobby, don't waste my time. So I post the list. I post the list of the kids made the varsity team. I get a knock on the door. I open the door. And this little guy, about 5'5", is crying. He's carrying on, going on like I made a mistake. I'm better than the only reason you're not picking me is my size. I'm better than those guys. I said, son, if you want to play that badly, tell me what I'm going to do. I am going to get you a uniform, and you're going to play in the junior varsity. And you prove to me you can play varsity basketball. By the end of the year, he was my starting point guard. And I know one thing, man. If I told him, I don't give a damn if it was John Wall or whoever. And I said, I want you in his job, Duffy, in his job. You, all the other teams just said, man, I don't want to play against that guy. He was defensive right in there. He couldn't shoot, couldn't run. You know what he did? He could win. He could win. And we started winning. And we won sectional state championship. And we went on. And then Duffy, it was time to go to college. I said, Duffy, I gotta go to college. You can get your Division II or III school. And I ain't going to college. I ain't going to college. I'm going to business world, man. Business world, you gotta go to college. He said, I want to make it. And there was some of that. He didn't do it the right way.